Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Everybody's got an excuse.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
They hate their job. They hate their current lifestyle.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. Today we're going to talk about how to not be a victim of your own lifestyle.
Yeah, stop feeling sorry for yourself. This comes up, I think, more so in this time of year because it's summertime. You got a lot of people who travel, who are on vacation, their kids are out of school. Everything's kind of off. So, I mean, we hear this stuff normally throughout the year, but I think we're extra sensitive to it at this time of year because we just hear a lot more about it. Yeah. And people are like, oh, I didn't get the summer bod. It's summertime. What's happening? Yet they're still not doing the things that they should be doing to reach their goals.
Yeah, do you think that's like a slap in the face? Like it's July and they're like, shit, I didn't get to the goals that I thought I was going to be at this point. Yeah, well, I was going to be shredded by April.
Right. But you just started your diet 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
We'll quit it 3 days later.
Like, shit, I hit my macros 3 days in a row. Why am I not leaner yet?
Yeah.
It's been 3 days.
This coffee talk's kind of an accumulation of frustration that we've had
We've had a lot of frustration
over the years. And hopefully we're going to get to some solutions today. But
yeah.
We've talked a lot about this lately, you and I. And it just seems like everybody's got an excuse. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things that I think of, is that they're not accepting the facts of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Or their situation.
Right.
Whether it's temporary or permanent. Everybody's becoming a victim of their circumstance, whether it's their work hours or the fact that they have a family or one of a million things. I mean, we're all busy people.
Right.
And it's like every time we talk to somebody, they're like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for breakfast. I don't have time to make myself food on the weekends. I don't have time to work out 3 times a week.
But I don't really like the mornings, or I'm kind of, I gotta go let my dog out or something. It's like
rarely is it a situation where they seriously cannot find the time.
Right.
And we do have those people where it's like, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, you're working crazy shifts. You're doing 12 to 14 hours overnight. You're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Like,
you just need to go to sleep.
Yeah, working out may not be a priority for you.
Right.
And we have a lot of different situations in the gym and just in general, but there's way too many people making excuses for themselves based on the lifestyle that they chose.
Right. And they choose these lifestyles, whether it's, a career or to have children or whatever it may be, right? And they almost resent those things and hold those as an excuse to, again, why they can't work out. It's like, yeah, but I have, a night shift job and I just can't. It's like, look, are you going to wait until your career's over? Like, are you going to keep your night shift job? Yes or no? Yes, you're going to keep it? Okay, so these are your circumstances. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
But instead, people just let it be this crutch. And it's like, are you going to really look back after 10, 20 years of your career or your circumstances? Like, oh, I'm a parent. I'm a mom now. So, well, you're going to be a mom for the rest of your life. Are you going to wait until your kids are off, away in college before you start to take care of yourself and prioritize your time? Or are you going to be honest with yourself about, okay, this is my situation, this is my schedule, these are the resources I have access to. What am I going to do about it?
Speaking of kids and lifestyle.
See. Ah!
I'll help you in a minute.
Yeah. So business ownership. We're parents.
All right, so this brings me to another point. Everybody probably in the back of their mind is like, oh, that's easy for Taylor and Nicole to say. They own a gym. They can eat whenever they want. They can work out whenever they want.
Yeah.
Not true at all.
No. We're taking care of everyone else.
And really what sparked this, at least for me, this topic is that I spent the first, 2 of our Landon. We'll try this again. So, something that brought this topic up for me is that so we've owned the gym for about 4 years now, and I spent the first couple of years just sort of like trying to figure out this rhythm.
Rhythm.
Yeah, if there is a rhythm of like us doing coaching all the classes,
Right.
and doing all the personal training and doing all the business planning and staying for events and all this stuff while having a small child.
Yeah.
And both of us juggling that. Once we got off of work here, we were on second duty,
Yeah.
being like single parents one at a time,
With a toddler.
taking care of
Yeah.
our young son. And I just kept thinking like, oh, we'll just get through this next month. We'll get through this, and then
Right.
it'll calm down. And then I realized one day, I was like, oh no,
This is what it is.
this is my life now. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to be less crazy. So that at a certain point, I just accepted that. Like, oh, okay, now I get it. Like, this is
Right.
this is what it is. So I have to just plan accordingly. And I think there's just way too many people that are in denial of what their actual life is. Like, whether they're in a job that they anticipate being in there for 20 or 30 years,
Yeah.
or whether it's temporary.
Even like the next 2 years.
Yeah, like
okay.
how long are you gonna put your health on hold? Whether it's working out or eating better or whatever, just making better habits or sleeping enough.
Yeah. Or happiness. Like you
Right.
hate your job.
Yeah, so many
you
people,
despise what you
They
do.
hate their job. They hate their current lifestyle because
Right.
it's just sucking the life out of them. And I mean, think to yourself, like, if you're one of these people, are you going to put your health and life on hold for 30 years
Yeah.
for benefits? Like, what is the objective here? And are we going to waste that much time, or are you going to make the adjustments you need
Right.
to just improve at least your health? And hopefully that will contribute to your happiness.
Yeah, I think for me, since I primarily do most of the nutrition coaching and stuff at the gym, it's really hard to get people to change their eating habits. And one of the biggest excuses or barriers that I hear from people is their work schedule. And the
Don't have
fact
time.
that they don't have time to eat and they have to work through their breaks, or, well, I get breaks, and when I really start to peel the onion back with people, it's like, okay, so you're saying you don't get breaks. Well, no, I get breaks. I don't really take them. Okay, so you have the ability to take a break, but you don't take them. Okay, well, there's one. Okay, so what are you doing during your break? Oh, I'm kind of like, I don't really have time to eat because I'm doing multiple things at once. Okay, are you stepping away from your desk? Are you taking your time to kind of separate yourself to have that mental break, like a break from what you're supposed to be doing all day? To really sit and be with your food and taste your food and enjoy it and just have a little bit of time away from the hustle and bustle. And people have the ability to do these things, but they just don't prioritize them. And it's very frustrating for me as someone who's really trying to help people make these changes to be happy for once with their bodies and achieve their health and fitness goals. I'm giving them all this information and I'm helping them try to map out their day. Like, all right, you wake up at this time, you have X amount of hours to start your day to eat this, amount of food. This is how you can do it. But it's like, yeah, but I don't really like to wake up early, It's like, it's an extra 15 minutes,
Yeah.
Do you want to achieve X results, then this is what you have to do, or it's like, yeah, but I don't really, I don't have time to go out and find a really healthy restaurant. Okay, so pack your food. Yeah, but then I have to cook it ahead of time. Yes, that's exactly what you have to do.
It's going to take effort.
Yeah, it has to take effort and consistent effort. And you're not going to always want to do all the stuff that you're supposed to do. And I think this victim mentality just keeps people from, one, taking the first step. And then the moment they have a little hiccup or things don't go as planned, it's like, oh, screw this. See, I'm just not meant to be healthy.
Yeah. And having that mindset of like, oh, I'm just a victim here. Like, I don't have the time. I can't do this. I don't want to. I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
You're just alleviating yourself of that responsibility.
Right.
And you're like, oh, it's their fault.
Right. It's
Whoever
everything
that is.
else's fault. Right.
Yeah. And it's like, okay,
my boss,
Yeah.
My boss doesn't, bullshit. Put your foot down and say, I have a right to these amount of breaks. I'm going to take them.
Yeah.
Or when it comes to kids, you can prioritize your time. You can go to the grocery store, take your kids with you. You don't have to buy the crappy food that they necessarily want to reach for. You can say no. You're the adult. You're the one doing the shopping. You have the money.
Yeah.
Don't stock your pantry full of crap foods that tempt you, and your children as well.
That's another one we get a lot. It's like, oh, well, I
Yeah.
have kids, so
So what
you
are
need
they
to feed
eating?
them crap?
What
Like,
are they eating?
Yeah. And the point of this is not to condemn anybody. It's just frustrating for us because we know what can be done to drastically improve your health and your life and your happiness. And it's when people they can easily do it, but they just don't.
Right.
They just don't put out that effort. So my hope is that this empowers you, or at least wakes you up to like, okay, I can do that. And just empower yourself to like take the extra time and do something you may not want to do because it will pay off.
Yeah.
It will definitely pay off.
Yeah. It's very sad for us to see so many people who lead very unhappy lives. You know, who have to, or they feel like they have to go to a job that they absolutely hate and be surrounded by people that they don't like, that they're not motivated around, that they don't feel like they're supported or they have any type of like positive energy, or their family members aren't the biggest support system either. You have choices to separate yourself from these people. You don't have to stay at your job, right? Or if you do, understand that, okay, these are the circumstances. These are the type of people that I work with. I'm going to avoid, interacting with them. These are my hours. This is just what they are. What can I do, to navigate those unique challenges with that position? Because you just have to take ownership of it.
Yeah, that may mean going to the gym early in the morning
or later
when you'd much rather work out at night. But guess what? That's not available anymore.
It is what it is.
Based on your lifestyle. So we're going to have to make a change. Okay, I'm going to have to start going in the morning. You know what? You'll get used to it.
Right.
You do these things over and over, week over week, you get used to it.
Right.
And any of our members that switch from day to night, night to day, can tell you that. Like, yeah, sure, it sucks at first. Like, nobody
it takes
likes doing
time,
it.
though.
But yeah, it does. And that goes with any new habit, any change you make. It's going to take effort and time and consistency. And there's going to be definitely days where you don't want to do it. And it's not a matter of motivation or anything like that. You're not going to be magically motivated to do something that you don't necessarily want to do at first. You just have to do it. And then after you've gotten into the habit, you'll feel this intrinsic motivation because you don't want to stop that habit because you know it's good.
Well, and you've started to reap the benefits of it. When you get a little taste of the benefit of doing something consistently for a while, you're like, oh, it does work.
Yeah, you get affirmation.
Yeah,
like,
and
that's where
it
motivation
builds.
comes from.
You gain momentum with that. But you still have to do it. And there are still times where I think a big misconception between people that are successful and that are unsuccessful is the unsuccessful people view the people that have success as like having some magical, amount of resources or an infinite amount of time in their day, or they have some like crazy amount of motivation and positivity around them all the time. And that's just not true. We are as successful as we are in our business, in our lives, because we're constantly working at it and we do the things that we have to do even when we don't feel like doing it. I don't always feel like eating healthy. I don't always feel like food prepping all the time and cleaning up my entire kitchen afterwards, but we do it because we know that those are the things that yield the positive results that we want.
Yeah,
we don't want to feel bad. We want to be healthy. We want to look a certain way and perform a certain way. We want our son to see us living, a certain lifestyle. It takes work. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But we do it, even though sometimes we don't feel like it.
And that's a thing. If you have kids, there's no better reason for you to put out the extra effort and show them that like this is how you should be living. That you should be happy and healthy and do these things that it takes to get there. Because what kind of example are you setting if you're not? If you're using your kids as an excuse for something, that's the opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah. Again, it's not easy. We're not saying any of these things are easy, but it is as simple as just accepting. And these are not like crazy radical things we're asking of people. Like we're saying you need to exercise intensely 3 to 4 times a week. Go on long walks, whatever it is. You need to increase the amount of vegetables and protein, and in order to do that, you're not going to be able to open your drawer up and have some chicken breast in there, right? You got to go to the store, you got to cook it, and then you got to bring it with you and take those breaks at work to eat that food. It's very simple, but you just need to completely like own your situation. If you have a crazy job, then that's what it is. That's your choice. And if you're going to choose to stay there, what are you going to do about it? You have to accept your time limitations. Everyone has 24 hours in their day. I don't have extra amount of time. Neither does anyone else.
No, you have to make adjustments based on what's going on. And that's, for some people, this is permanent. Like they're in a the kind of job, whether it's like law enforcement or something, where they're on track for an eventual retirement and pension.
25 years.
They're
25
lifers
years.
in that role.
Yeah.
And if you're in that permanent situation, then you need to make changes that you can sustain permanently.
Yeah.
If it's temporary, let's say you got an injury, like you blew out your ACL playing soccer. Now you can't work out for the next 4 months.
Right.
And what are we going to do about that? Are you going to shift to where you're like really on top of your diet, or are you just going to go, woe is me, and I'm going to just eat donuts every day and give up?
Yeah.
Like, accept the situation as crappy as it may be at that time.
Yeah.
You have to do those things. You know, like
Yeah.
even if you're pregnant.
Yeah.
A lot of
Play
women
the
use,
hand
like,
that you're dealt.
Pregnancy is like a reason to be super unhealthy. That's
crazy.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Eating for two.
Yeah.
No.
Let's eat healthy for one and a baby. Let's do that. So, given that information, I'd like to at least go over some solutions, ways to approach like your lifestyle or whatever it is to make it possible to do these things.
Yeah.
And I think the easiest thing, starting with just what you put in your body to stay healthy, is being prepared. No matter what, if you're a firefighter, a nurse, a teacher, office worker, whatever.
You travel a lot for work.
Yeah, you travel a lot.
Right.
You have to be prepared.
Yeah.
That's just the number one thing.
Right.
So at some point in your week, you're going to have to put in a little chunk of time, shop for groceries, cook them, lay that stuff out so that you're prepared. So that when you do have that really short break that you talk about that you don't ever have, you have 20 minutes. Are you going to go get something out of a vending machine and get no nutritional value, no calories? Or are you going to have a meal that's already ready, takes a minute to heat up, and then you have your whole break to enjoy this nice healthy food that's already prepared for you?
Right. But you have to anticipate those needs. I think that food is the number one thing. We may not always have the 30 minutes of the day or the hour of the day to exercise and stuff like that. You know, you may be missing equipment, whatever. But if nothing else, food is the most powerful thing. It's especially when it comes to changing your body composition. People are always on this quest to lose weight, you know, and to lose body fat and to maintain a certain body composition, which is fine. But you have to understand that food is like your number one defense. And we live in a very fast-paced society. So if you do have a job where you travel a lot, if you do have a job where you're just constantly go, 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 you have to anticipate that pace, you know? And so you have to know that, all right, when I'm in it, when I'm working for those 8, 10, 12 hours, I know I don't have enough time to stop and go out to a restaurant, sit down, have, a meal time for an hour. So I know that I have to bring the right amount of food with me to eat at those short periods of time. You have to plan ahead. You have to prepare. You just have to invest initially, you know, for the couple of days ahead of time, for the entire week, or maybe it's just that one day. But you have to look ahead. You have to look at your schedule. You have to anticipate those needs and set yourself up for success. So food is number one. Making that a priority is absolutely number one. I think that mindset is really big too. I think that, like we kind of talked about, you know, stop feeling sorry for yourself is really big. You know, the moment that you stop feeling sorry for yourself, you take ownership of everything and you take your power back.
Yep.
You know, you are 100% in charge of everything in your day. Exactly where you are in life is because of your decisions and not because of, you know, outside sources that you have, you know, no control over. You have to take your power back.
Well, and you know yourself best.
Yeah.
So, like, you know your triggers, you know your lifestyle, you know the times throughout your day where you feel sluggish, or how you react to things, like if you tend to just go into depression when something gets tough, or if you're the kind of person that gets fueled by that.
Yeah.
Like, you know more about you than anybody.
Right.
So you have to be just, like you said, you have to take ownership of that.
Right.
And just know, like, okay, this is what it is.
Right.
This is how I'm going to attack these things. And, like, going back to food, not just replacing, you know, poor meals for better meals, but...
It's not charging.
Landon. Please.
Okay, close the door. Be quiet.
Landon, please stop.
I put the charger.
Okay, then you need to wait 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
5
you
minutes.
need to wait 5 minutes.
Go sit down and be
You're
quiet.
interrupting us.
Don't touch the door anymore. What was I saying? This is chopped this place so bad. Okay, anyway. So I'm going to start. Another big thing that I think a lot of people kind of dismiss and they don't realize how much power it has over them is trying to please everyone. So whether it's your coworkers or your friends, your family members, your boss, if you're trying to please everyone and make everyone happy and kind of conform to their opinions as to what's healthy or what's not or what you should be doing, just focus on yourself. You know, have a game plan going in with your nutrition and your food and your exercise. But I think that a lot of people try to please everyone with their time. And so you have to know that there's going to be times in your day where you're going to have to say no. Where you're going to have to avoid, you know, certain situations. You're going to have to kind of go against the grain. Because what's average right now in the workplace and, you know, when you look around at any kind of store or general population area, what's average and normal are overweight, unhealthy people. So if you don't want to be that statistic, you have to do the different thing, you know, like the thing that's not typical of your coworkers. You know, what's typical of them is probably go to happy hour a couple nights a week. What's typical of them is to always grab the donuts or whatever treat someone brings into the office that day. You know, what's typical of everyone is just to skip the workout because they're just tired and they don't really feel like it that day. But you have to do the things that are different from those people, unless you want the same result. Yeah, there goes my mic. So that's huge. You know, I think part of taking ownership is just knowing that, like, you have to be a little selfish here and focus on you. And that you'll definitely make mistakes too. You know, like, we all have our plans and that's great and all, but you also have to be adaptable. So when those times come up where, like, okay, I was planning to eat, you know, a couple times a day. It turns out I truly didn't have any opportunity to eat more than once today. That's okay. You just got to adapt. Tomorrow's another day or the next.
Yeah, don't let it like crumble all your plans.
Yeah. It's not over because you had the one bad day or, you know, whatever it is. You have to be adaptable. You have to move forward. And you can't just crumble at the first little hiccup of anything that's outside of your perfect plan. You know, it's about consistency.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect.
So, being prepared, you know, mainly with food is what we're talking about.
Right.
Like, but really just being prepared and knowing like what's ahead of you, what's on your schedule. Right. Plan things out week to week if you have to.
You know how busy you are. You know what your work schedule's like. You know how long it takes you to drive to and from work or whatever it is with your kids and things like that. You know your rituals. Plan accordingly.
Yeah.
Take ownership of it.
Yeah. Change your mindset up. So no more victim, no more feeling sorry for yourself. Mm-hmm. If you get in that mode, you got to get out of it quickly and move on.
Yeah, definitely.
What else? I mean, as far as, you know, we're here to help people work out and get them results through that and through nutrition and everything. You can get an awesome workout in 10 minutes.
At home.
We all know that.
Body weight or a pair of dumbbells or a kettlebell.
Yeah.
It could be super, super simple.
So you don't necessarily have to know like what you're doing and be an expert. If you give yourself 5 minutes to warm up, and then you do a 10-minute workout that you made up, and you do whatever, 10 push-ups, 10 air squats, 10 burpees.
Yeah.
You do that hard for 10 minutes, you'll get a great workout.
Right.
And you know what? If you're short on time that day, just be able to default to that.
Right.
You know, you don't have to be working out for 2 hours in the gym and slaving away, and don't feel like that day is lost because you couldn't devote all that time to it.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't have time to record this episode.
See? Summertime. Summer camp didn't work out this year, so help us. I don't even know where you left off. I don't even remember.
Well, we're just talking about solutions and just, you know, hitting the nutrition, being prepared, hitting the mindset, exercising when you can and fitting that in. But yeah, just don't let one bad day throw off your whole week.
Yeah.
You know, you have opportunities all week to take advantage. And if you have to, like, I've told people before, just take it one decision at a time.
Yeah.
Like, make one choice at a time. Just throughout your day. Like, you're faced with what to eat for lunch. Somebody's going out, getting something that you know is not going to be good for you. Or you have, like, your meal that may be a little more boring that you're already prepared. You know what? Here's a decision you can make.
Closer or farther away from your goals?
It's like, does every decision, like, where is it going? Is it going this way towards your goals? Is it just veering off away from your goals and going to send you on that path away from it? So, if you have to, one choice at a time.
Yeah, right. And don't let other people influence you. I think a lot of people feel guilty about saying no, or they're kind of like shamed into trying to make healthier decisions.
Yeah, you want to be part of
at the
group.
workplace. Yeah,
And you will be that healthy person
Right.
at the office. It's like, screw those people, first
Yeah,
of all.
yeah.
If they're shaming you for trying to be healthy,
it's because you're making them think twice about their choices, and
Yeah.
people don't like to own up to their shit. So
Yeah, but maybe you can be an example for those people too.
Right.
You can't do what everybody else is doing, like Nicole said before. Like you have to be an outlier.
Yeah.
You have to be the odd man out sometimes, and it is what it is. But you'll be healthier for it, and you'll be happier for it.
Yeah.
Because if everybody else in that group is miserable like you were, well then they're just gonna keep being miserable.
Yeah.
So don't let them bring you down just because of that.
Yeah, you just need to take your power back. Take ownership of everything. Because the moment that you do that and you say, nothing in my day has power over me, like everything that I do is with a purpose, you have the power to change. But the moment you say, oh, I can't because this, it's like, well, okay, then you just totally gave up.
Yeah.
So,
It's just, it's how you react to things.
Yep.
And being proactive towards what you need to accomplish.
Yeah, let go of the things you cannot control, and of the things you can control, make good choices, set yourself up for success, and just take ownership of where you are right now, where you want to go.
Yeah. Any other solutions, closing arguments?
No, not really. It's just don't be a victim.
All right. So own your lifestyle. Don't be a victim of your circumstances. If you have questions on how you can improve your lifestyle, we've worked with a lot of different people with a lot of different lifestyles and jobs and situations. We'd be happy to help you or give you some advice, some tips, some things that might make your day a little bit better. But subscribe to Elevate St. Pete on YouTube, and we'll be back hopefully next week with a new Coffee Talk.